Good good afternoon, I guess. It's noon now in the West Coast, and I'm live for the second time ever. And this time I am going to be talking about the three biggest things that hold most people back from achieving great style. I know that this was a little bit short notice. I announced that I was going to be going live about 2 hours ago, so thank you to anyone that did submit questions. I have a few questions that we'll get to at the end, and if you are here live, you can ask me those questions when we get to the end. So, without further ado, like I said, we're talking about the things that are probably holding you back from having great style. And I don't think that these are necessarily things that you might think about. It's not that you don't know the biggest trends of the season, or that you are 20 pounds heavier than you want to be, and it's not that you don't have the money to spend on a bunch of designer clothes. Those are not the reasons that are holding you back from being stylish. Instead, they are things that are much more simple. So the first one, sorry, my cat is now playing with the cord connected to the phone, so bear with me. The first one is not knowing about yourself. Now, that means not knowing what your style is, not knowing the best cuts, the best colors, the best items that you should be buying to actually achieve the look that you are going for. Hi, people that just joined. And, if you don't know where you're heading, if you don't have a blueprint, how can you ever expect to get there? It's kind of like having a blueprint or something for a house. If you didn't have that, if you didn't have those plans, you wouldn't just start nailing wood together and expect to get a house at the end. You need to have a plan, and you need to know where you're going. So the first step is to actually understand what you like, your style that you're trying to achieve, and also the cuts that are going to work best for the body that you have right now, not the body that you have 20 pounds from now, or that you used to have when you were 20 years old. The body that you have now, and of course your natural coloring, what's going to look best on you. The second thing that I see holding people back from having really great style is not having any strategy. This goes back a little bit to not having a plan, but this is more specific to your life and your closet. So most people, we go out and we go shopping and we just buy whatever we're drawn to in the moment. And then we get it home and we have maybe a few pieces that we really love, but overall we don't have a strategy in our wardrobe. Nothing makes sense together. It's really difficult to put together outfits. We might have a ton of, cocktail dresses and not enough things to wear to work, which is where we go, 5 days a week, or on our casual errands. We feel, bad because we only have work clothes and we have nothing to wear on the weekends. So really structuring your wardrobe so that it does work for your actual lifestyle, not your fantasy self or your fantasy lifestyle, which is often when we do go shopping, we're really drawn to those items that make us think about this would be great on an imaginary trip to Paris, or this would be amazing if I got invited to a really fancy gala. But the reality is, if you don't have those kinds of things in your life, you could make them happen for yourself, or you can actually spend that money on the things that are going to make you feel good most of the time. So really great basics, really great things that you're going to actually be wearing more often. Okay? So then the third thing, this is, I think, the trickiest one that's holding people back, is their actual sense of not wanting to move forward. Sometimes this is they're too attached to the clothes that they already have. People have a really hard time letting go of stuff that's no longer working for them, either for sentimental reasons or, just fear of change. And an unwillingness to let that go. And then sometimes it is a fear of how people will perceive them. For example, if they work in a environment where no one really dresses very well, or it's very casual and it's just not their style, it is difficult for them to start dressing better because they think that other people will judge them for either being too superficial or thinking that they're better than everyone. But the reality is, most people don't care. They don't think that about you. The only thing that they see is that you look great. And that is what is actually going to come through. And your confidence is what is actually going to come through. And after you dress like that for a week or 2 weeks, people won't even remember that you used to be different. They'll just remember how you are now. So don't let that fear hold you back from having really great style that I know that you can have. So to recap, those 3 things are knowing yourself. So that is, again, knowing your style, knowing the types of things that you want to be buying, knowing the colors and the cuts of things that work best for you. The second thing was having a strategic wardrobe. So actually planning it out and understanding, I need this many tops and this many bottoms and this many one pieces and layers, and these are the colors that are going to go together, and these are the types of occasions that I need to dress for most frequently. So how do I actually have the outfits that I need for my real life? And then the third is getting over that hurdle of letting go of your former style or your former self and really accepting the person that you are today and the way that you want to dress and really embodying that person. Okay, so now I'm going to get to a few of the questions that people submitted beforehand. Oh my gosh, I did it again where my computer turned off, so 1 second. Okay, we're back. So the first question is, can you be stylish without accessories? And the answer is a resounding yes. Accessories are not necessary to having great style. Really, you should be focusing on the basics, the pieces that are going to make up the largest structure of your wardrobe. And accessories are just icing on top if that's part of your style. If it isn't part of your style, you can skip it. If you have a really great sweater and really great pants and shoes, it doesn't matter that you're not wearing earrings or you're not wearing a belt, unless those types of things are really integral to your style. But if you don't like them, it sounds like that's probably not your style, so you don't have to worry about it. And I've noticed for myself that during quarantine, where most of my interaction with people is through the screen like this, either on Zoom or in this kind of video, that I really gravitate towards big earrings. Not today, but I have like about 3 or 4 pairs of earrings that I wear kind of on repeat that make me feel like I'm really, getting dressed up, but, I'm wearing a basic shirt, wearing basic pants, and just that one tiny, easy accessory makes everything feel a little bit more dressed up. But even that, you can skip it. You don't need it. It's not necessary. Okay, the next question is, how do you keep your style consistent between professional and casual wardrobes? So that goes back to what I said earlier on the first step to having great style is to actually know yourself. So if you understand the style that you're trying to achieve and the cuts and the colors and the patterns that go along with that style, it will transcend occasion. So let's think of an example. So maybe your style you want to convey is sophisticated, and you work at a business professional office. So for you, sophisticated might mean a classic blazer or a classic suit and a beautiful silk blouse and very minimal jewelry. That is what is sophisticated to you. You wear mostly, taupe and navy and like burgundy. That's a very sophisticated look for you that you're going for. Then in your casual time, you're not going to suddenly, be wearing fuchsia sweaters and ripped jeans if you're still going for that sophisticated look and you've identified these specific colors as being colors that work for you. So instead, in your casual time, maybe you're wearing, an oversized burgundy cashmere sweater and tailored jeans, or just like really nice like silky skirt or something that is still comfortable and casual, like really nice leather tennis shoes. These things that individually are still sophisticated and are still the same colors and patterns, but just the level of formality is the only thing that it changes. So you can still have that vibe no matter what the actual occasion that you're dressing for. The same thing goes if you're getting really dressed up, like for a fancy event. Like Jennifer Aniston is a really great example of someone who has a really specific personal style. She has a very like laid back, cool, casual, minimalist vibe, and that doesn't mean that she is wearing jeans on the red carpet. But when she is on the red carpet, she still has a very laid back. Her hair is always just down and straight. She usually wears some kind of a simple black dress. She's very simple, minimal, laid back, but of course it's a very different context. Okay, I hope that was helpful. And then the final question I saved for the end because it like really ties back to what we were talking about before. And that is, so my coworkers and even my manager mostly wear jeans and t-shirts. Help. So again, I know from personal experience that it can be really difficult to sort of bust out of a style, especially when you are surrounded by people that are dressing down or dressing not to the level that you wish that you were dressing in. And the only thing that you can do to get over that is to just do it. And you might want to step it up very slowly if that makes you feel more comfortable. Just start with, instead of t-shirts, now you're wearing blouses with your jeans. Or you're wearing, a button-up shirt and a nice sweater. You're just slowly ramping up until you get to the level of dress that you feel most confident in. And you might be surprised. Number one, people will probably think that you look great. You might get a few comments in the beginning of like, oh, do you have an interview today? But eventually people will realize that this is just how you dress. And again, they probably won't even remember in a couple of weeks that you dressed differently before. And you might even inspire people to dress better themselves. They might, see how you look and how you feel and how your life has changed and be inspired to do that for themselves. So you might be doing your whole office a favor by stepping it up a notch in your dress code. All right, so those are all of the questions. Let me just really quickly see if there are any comments. Okay, and yeah, that is all I have on the 3 things that are holding you back from having great style. I hope that you learned something or came away with something. Let me know in the comments if you're watching this afterwards what you think is holding you back the most and what you're gonna do to change that. And if you know somebody who could benefit from this, please share it. I really appreciate if you can share it. It helps me a lot. Just spread the word. So thank you very much, and I will see you next time. Bye.